And who's ready to show up? You all got this far. You got through the door. You've already showed up today. Remember, open your page up so you have all of your words right in front of you. Show up. Ooh, show up. Ooh, I want to show up as love. Hold the door open for everyone. Fill this room below to above. I want to show up as love. I want to show up as peace. See no other as the least. Listen more than I speak. I want to show up as peace. I'm here to make the best of it, to give a lot and take a bit. Yeah, show up. Ooh, show up. Ooh, I want to show up as true. What you see is 100 proof, and all I say and all I do, I want to show up as truth. I want to show up as joy, like a child with a brand new toy. Excuse me. Share it, spread it, fill the void. I want to show up as joy. I'm here to make the best of it, to give a lot and take a bit. Show up as love. Let's just end. Show up as peace. Show up as truth. Show up as joy. Show up. Wow.
Good morning, everybody. My name is David, if you don't know, and I'm your trustee on duty today. On behalf of Reverend Donna and the Board of Trustees, I am privileged to welcome you here to the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated, supported, and encouraged to be all that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action every day in every way. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. You will find your declaration of principles on the back of your program. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Any first-timers? I don't see any. Well, we're glad that you're all here, and we hope you continue coming over and over and over again. I would like to thank all the people that make the Sunday celebration possible, and first of all of you, especially with this weather, nice and hot and then rainy. Thank gosh for the rain. We appreciate it. I'd also like to thank everyone who is involved in our center. It's so important to me, but it really helps everything flow. We got Susan and Amy in the back and doing the treats. We've got Wanda and Bruce reprogramming the thermostats. And Don and Bruce and Lynn and Wanda doing the facilities. And there's just so many people that do so much, and I just want to say thank you for that. Please direct your attention now to the announcements that are in the bulletin. If you're watching online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements and our event calendar.
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you. And you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. As you know, my name is Louise. I'm your practitioner today. And the practitioners are the praying arm of the church. So if you have a prayer request, please fill out a card and put it in the box. If you have an immediate prayer request that you'd like to do just a 1 or 2 minute session with, please feel free to reach out as well. So take a moment now just to center yourself, to be open and to be receptive to all that universe has to offer. Just knowing that God is all there is, that one power, one presence, one mind. God is the creator and the creation. God is all good and love. And just as I am one with that good and that love, just as I am a co-creator, a unique individualization of the divine, perfect, whole, and complete, so is each and every person here one with that God, that good, that co-creation. And just as I am perfect, whole, and complete, Everyone here is as well, and I declare that each person present today is awake and alert and open to the flow of spirit in their lives right here, right now. I know that we are each divinely guided, directed, led, and protected through divine right action to our highest good. I know that this service is unfolding, whole, perfect, complete with love, just as it is meant to be, and I am grateful for Reverend Donna's words that teach and inspire us this morning. I am grateful for knowing that we each accept this service as good and very good, and we anchor this by saying, and so it is. So my reading this morning was from the June 2023 Science of Mind magazine. And it's titled, One Heart, One Mind. So lack of confidence can be a hindrance to faith. Although we may be in agreement about the science of mind teachings, we must also be aware of how we respond to life circumstance with our faith. When our minds cause detriment, it may be an indicator of our lack of confidence in relation to our faith. So much of how we experience life is a result of our perceptions and prefixed notions. Our conditioning affects how we respond to life events. We must always be open and willing to learn more about ourselves and to be honest and vulnerable. We can learn to recognize when we respond to external events in a way that doesn't match the true intentions of our soul. Our response is ours to choose. When we can override our programmed reactions and allow absolute faith to lead the way, the power we have within supersedes our reactions. I just have to say, I think each and every one of us has had one of those moments where you just feel it, and you're aware of something and it changes your thinking right there. We are left with no choice but to be filled with infinite joy, peace, and love, all which have the power to transmute suffering. It can be difficult to respond with love. We are conditioned to react to anything that seemingly threatens our mental and emotional outlook. We must consciously decide whether we are divided, undecided, or united. Are we one? Are we infinite, as we say we believe? Ernest Holmes taught that things we take from our past become the seeds of our future. Think of a time you were shaken to your core and consciously made the decision to respond with peace. When did you dig deep into your belief system to get back to your inherent truth? We can always access divine mind, for we are the heart of God. We must always be ready to affirm goodness and dismiss destruction. Life is a multitude of nows, and this present moment is all that is guaranteed. When we continuously choose to see life with an open mind, an open heart, we are affirming our faith. This form of surrender will put us in a better position to respond with love and bring about change for the higher good. God's thought is our thought. Let our thinking begin and let it end with peace. Namaste. So I light the service candle knowing that we are each a light within ourselves, and we take that light out into the world.
This is an original song that I did for you guys a couple of months ago. And it's kind of about standing tall and planting roots in the ground. And the way that, a lot like Shel Silverstein's The Giving Tree gives and gives, so does this tree in this song. To what end? I'd like to think that my tree has a little happier ending than the giving tree, though. I had a dream, I was a tree. My roots were shallow in the ground. The wind was blowing against me, and then I fell without a sound. And then the woodsman came, took my limbs and changed me with splint and saw and flint and ash that traveled in the breeze and was what I thought I had become. There's so much more to me. Yeah, they asked where I'd go and who I'd be. I told them I would always be in the light beyond the trees. The leaves I bore gave shade to many. Explorers climbed me for the view. The deer would have my bark in winter. Children came, I bore them fruit. There's so much more to me. They asked where I'd go and who I'd be. I told them I would always be in the light beyond the trees. I was replanted in the ground. My roots grow deeper in the ground. Was I the only tree in the field that day? I think I was. I think I was. There's so much more to me. When they asked where I'd go and who I'd be, I told them I will always be in the light beyond the trees. I told them I will always be in the light beyond the trees. Thank you, and namaste.
Well, we're continuing our theme, Speaking Truth to Circumstance. And today's topic is the wise warrior. And Jeff asked me, am I really going to talk about that? And the answer is yes and no. Because that is Home Office's topic, not mine. And I don't like the term warrior. You know, when I first moved to Florida, there was a big thing going on with all the Christian churches, and it was called spiritual warfare. And I thought, what kind of an oxymoron is that? You know? So anyway, it's Reverend David Robinson of the Center for Spiritual Living in Olympia, Washington, and he's the one who has contributed our July topics and notes. And he says, the Greek philosopher Plotinus said, I do not argue, I contemplate. And as I contemplate, I let fall the seeds of thought into the mirror of mind, which then becomes the mirror of matter. The way of the world is the unpeaceful, unwise warrior, David tells us. They joust at every windmill that comes along. The wise warrior is already anchored in peace and poise. They are focused on what needs to happen without needing to fight. They recognize that all is one already, and they bring a recentering into that oneness. So all this month, if you think about it, we've been focusing on just one of the basic tenets of our philosophy, and that is simply that what we experience in our world of affairs is a result of our accumulated thoughts, ideas, and beliefs about the world. You know, you and I have been given this incredible gift of choice, and what we choose to believe about our world becomes real as our world. There's an illustration that's been circling the internet for years. A dog and a cat who live in the same household have each kept a diary. The dog's diary says, 8 a.m., dog food, my favorite thing. 9:30 a.m., a car ride, my favorite thing. 9:40 a.m., a walk in the park, my favorite thing. 10:30 a.m., got rubbed and petted, my favorite thing. 12 p.m., lunch, my favorite thing. 1 p.m., played in the yard, my favorite thing. 3 p.m., wagged my tail, my favorite thing. 5 p.m., milk bones, my favorite thing. 7 p.m., got to play ball, my favorite thing. 8 p.m., wow, watch TV with my people, my favorite thing. 11 p.m., sleeping on the bed, my favorite thing. The cat's diary begins, day 983 of my captivity. My captors continue to taunt me with bizarre little dangling objects. They dine lavishly on fresh meat while the other inmates and I are fed hash or some sort of dry nuggets. Although I make my contempt for the rations perfectly clear, I nevertheless must eat something in order to keep up my strength. The only thing that keeps me going is my dream of escape. In an attempt to discuss them, I once again vomit on the carpet. Today I decapitated a mouse and dropped its headless body at their feet. I had hoped this would strike fear into their hearts, since it clearly demonstrates my capabilities. However, they merely made condescending comments about what a good little hunter I am. Today, I was almost successful in an attempt to assassinate one of my tormentors by weaving around his feet as he was walking. I must try this again tomorrow, but at the top of the stairs. So the cat's diary goes on with more complaints and more ways to get even. Now, both of these animals live in the house, same house. Both are loved and cared by their owners. One is filled with joy and the other is miserable. Each is experiencing the world the way they believe it to be. And the universe is saying yes to them both. We as human beings should ask what our diary looks like. Are we more like the dog, waking up each morning with a sense of thanksgiving and joy in our heart? Or do we wake up like the cat with a bunch of complaints? And most importantly, do we realize that either way the universe will say yes, reflecting back to us what we have claimed is true? The wise warrior recognizes that his or her power does not lie in outer strength and ability. Rather, true power comes from recognizing our oneness with spirit and our connection with each other. The Sufis speak of polishing the heart into a mirror so that through our love we can reflect the heart of everything. I love that. I love Louise's reading this morning about one heart. By its very nature, living in the world creates a film over our heart, while our thoroughness of being and our gestures of love remove that film. So you and I are constantly moving between filming and polishing our heart. And once the heart is polished, it sees from the one heart where truly there is only one of us here. Mark Nepo in The Endless Practice says, throughout our lives we begin to discover, grow, and mature, and then we're asked to shed our gown of mastery in order to begin again. We all know the excitement of beginning something new, whether it's a new project, relationship, skill, or understanding. There's a thrill that comes with opening to something new. And our exploration into this new thing begins to give us new knowledge and new skills. And finally, we see ourselves as having mastered whatever it is that we began. We have mastered the skill, and it becomes second nature. The new relationship settles into a kind of familiarity. The project that once filled us with enthusiasm now becomes old hat. And what we must be careful of at this stage is that we don't become complacent, so satisfied with our achievements that we don't want to move from our comfort zone. We're so convinced that we have mastery over it that we aren't open to new ideas. It is from these perspectives that our mastery actually begins to film our heart. Again, Mark Nepo says there's certainly a value in doing things well, but the heart wants to keep living and learning. The heart is not satisfied by mastering anything. It needs to keep applying what it knows. And eventually we come upon the necessary yet difficult moment when, in order to stay fresh and vital, we need to abandon not what we've learned, but our identity as a master of anything. We need to put down our identity as an experienced know-it-all, because encased in that, we deaden ourselves to life. Think about the ways in which we're bored with all that we know, but reluctant to let go of our earned position because we've worked so hard to learn these things. Yet if we refuse to return to a beginner's mind, he says, our self-regard as a master can turn hollow and suffocate the soul. I love that Mark Nepo refers to the beginner's mind. This is called Shoshin in Buddhism. To practice a beginner's mind, we have to let go of being an expert. And it's difficult to let go of being an expert, of being a master, because it means confessing that perhaps we don't know. And we don't like that. We like to think that we know. How many times do we come up with an answer when we have absolutely no idea what we're talking about? But we're not going to tell somebody that we don't know. You know, politicians do it all the time. So. Excuse me. Yeah, if we truly think about it, everything we know belongs to the past. All we really know is our past impressions of the situation that's happening now, our conclusions formed by past experiences, our judgments based on previous similar circumstances. In other words, what we know is really the label we have placed on our experience. So living with I know is a tremendous handicap that keeps us out of the present. Allows us nothing new, no surprises, no insights, no discoveries. To know keeps us from unlocking the mysteries of the present moment. And it is this moment right now that is offering its own unique essence to us. And if we can let go of our sense of mastery, of being an expert, we can approach this moment with an open mind. And then we find that anything and everything becomes our teacher. The Buddhists say that the statement, I don't know, is the warrior's wisdom. To say I don't know is to open up to possibilities that are not part of the past, to things we have not experienced before. And if you think about it, every invention on this planet comes from a beginner's mind. Someone has said, what if, and has answered that with, I don't know, let's try. So if you and I begin our morning by saying, okay, Spirit, I don't know, teach me today. And we stayed with our beginner's mind throughout the day, we would end our day with a joy and vibrancy that knowing could never give us. Dr. Raymond Charles Barker, author and one of the past leaders of our movement, said, the infinite never rests on its laurels. It never stops creating for a moment. It expects us to do the same. It expects us to be fully alive, using our curiosity to feed new ideas into our consciousness. God never made a dull person. It never created an average person. It never created a satisfied person. We are a becoming people. We are a growth people. We are expanding people. We are made in the image and likeness of an infinite thinker, forever thinking the new in an atmosphere of love or givingness. This thinker is always seeking its expression by means of us. So when you and I come to life with a beginner's mind, we become fully alive because we're receptive to all the miracles that life has for us. It polishes the heart and readies it for the delight of exploration. Zen master Shinmuro Suzuki said, in the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the experts, there are few. Have you ever watched a baby discovering a spoon? To us, it's a spoon, and we use it to eat soup. To the baby, it's something to bang, something to put against your cheek, something to dig with, something to hit the dog with. It's not yet become a spoon for eating soup. It's full of possibilities. So not only does a beginner's mind open us to possibilities, but because we are open to possibilities, the universe can respond to yes. And we find the magic and miracles all around us. And likewise, if we say we know, then we're closing ourselves off to new ideas. And the universe will say yes to that too. And we'll keep all those wonderful possibilities for the people who don't know. To practice a beginner's mind is to try to see things as if we've never seen them before. Like the baby with the spoon, we can practice seeing for the first time. I have an assignment for you. So this week when you go shopping, when you're in any kind of a store, try seeing the store in new ways. Start out looking from the old way, what you know, what's on the shelves or the aisles, what you're planning to shop for. Then pretend that you have just come from outer space and you've never seen a store before. And then begin by looking at all of the colors, not the items. Let the colors in the aisles, on the walls, dance in front of you. See how many reds, blues, greens there are, and let your eyes stay a moment on those colors that most call to you. Then experience the store in terms of sounds. People carrying on conversations, children laughing or crying, bells or phones that may be ringing. Is there music playing? Just be aware of all the sounds. And finally, especially if you're in a grocery store, be aware of the changes in temperatures. How does it feel as you approach the produce aisle compared to the center aisles of the store? Open the door in the frozen food section and feel the cold on your face. Pick up a frozen item and feel it on your hand. So when you and I approach anything with a Zen or beginner's mind, that thing gives up its essence to us, and we see it in a wider context. We stop looking at the labels that we know so well, and we see the mystery unfolding all around us. In Kinship with All Life, J. Allen Boone talks of his experience with a dog named Strongheart. He's a German shepherd who was a star in many of the silent films of the mid-20s. He even has his own star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. J. Allen cared for Strongheart when his owners left for an extended trip, and during this time discovered that when you truly look into the heart of another with respect and love, a communication takes place outside the realm of language. And he said, slowly I began to realize what had been going on as I watched Strongheart playing on the beach, what had been silently taking place as he lay on the sand near me, and what was still going on as we sat in darkness. In his own simple way, Strongheart was working a mighty miracle on me, the miracle of opening my blind inner eyes so that I could really see a dog when I looked at one. Thus, with the dog's guiding help and with him as a focal point for the experience, I was receiving priceless lessons in the cosmic art of seeing things as they really are through the mists and barriers that seem to separate all of us from one another. When we practice a beginner's mind, we drop the labels through which we think we know things so that we can see the miracle of creation and connection. J. Allen Boone had to drop what he knew about dogs so he could truly experience the miracle of the dog before him. Anthony DeMello in Song of the Birds says, if you really heard a bird sing, if you really saw a tree, you would know beyond words and concepts. What was that you said? You have heard dozens of birds sing and seen hundreds of trees. Ah, was it the tree you saw or the label? If you look at a tree and see a tree, you have really not seen the tree. When you look at the tree and see a miracle, then at last you have seen. Some of the Native American traditions call this right see. When we see our life, our world, as a manifestation of God's love, as the instruments through which the mind of the universe thinks, speaks, and acts, when we can look at this beautiful world we live in and see beyond the appearance of separation, then we are right seeing. And what we are seeing is what the Native Americans call the big holy. When we learn to right see, then we move into another realm of the Native American tradition called the all-good heart. The all-good heart follows right see with right action. Do you know that the Native Americans suffer very few rattlesnake bites in proportion to white people? When we come upon a rattlesnake, most of us are frightened because our labels tell us that it is ferocious and deadly and we should beat it to death. The Native American sees it as a brother who has its own place and purpose. When he comes upon a rattlesnake, he respects it and sends his good wishes. So if you think about it, if there is one universal mind that is expressing in everything, is it beyond the realm of possibility that the snake is responding to our attitude about it and is simply protecting itself from the danger it feels that is coming from our own fear inside of us? And perhaps when it feels no fear for the Native American, it feels no danger and has no need to coil or strike. And even if there's just a bit of truth to this, then doesn't it make sense to come to every encounter, every situation with an all-good heart, so that the rattlesnake, the dog, or the person that we are encountering responds to the love that wells within us? J. Allen Boone says, when one has the right see and the all-good heart, then wherever he happens to be, he can always find the big holy, breathing life into all things, making all things of one essence, and speaking love and wisdom through all things. To me, this is the way of the wise warrior. And we become that wise warrior when we use our beginner's mind to claim each moment as precious. When we remember to stop and polish our heart so that part of the big holy that is us shines through us to the world. Thank you. Namaste.
Okay, so the reason I picked this song is because you were all my shining stars, every single one of you. I love coming here every single Sunday and getting an attitude adjustment, you know? getting a little lift, and I hope that you get that same feeling. And I know you do, because I'll greet some of you in the morning and you, hi, how are you? Right? And then about an hour goes by. Mama Donna says her talk. We hear from the practitioners, play a couple of songs, and all of a sudden we're all, I can't wait for the rest of the day, right? Let's stand, let's do it. I know who you really are. Yeah, I see it in your eyes. Oh, you are a shining star. I know who you really are. You're here to be, I'm sorry. You're here to be the one. You're here to make it fun. You've really got my head spinning. You brighten every room. You always leave too soon, and this is just the beginning. I know who you're here to be. Let's do that second verse. I see it in your eyes, a light for the world to see. I know who you're here to be. You are incredible, so unforgettable, the one that everyone's eyeing. You are an awesome friend, and so magnificent. This is just no denying. I know who you really are. I see it in your eyes. Oh, you are a shining star. I know who you really are. I know who you're here to be. I see it in your eyes, a light for the world to see. I know who you're here to be. I know who you're here to be.
Thank you. Okay, it's time for our offering. So I ask that you join me in our offering affirmation. My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
It's an exact timing. I mean, perfect timing.
Charge it.
Exactly. Okay, so let's again thank you so much. This time at our last board meeting, we are a part of the ties are going to Books for Classrooms, I think is the name of it. Susan and David and I have been looking at places that we have not contributed and see if we could make a difference in some places that have not been a part of our general giving on our tithing. So we got a very nice thank you letter back, and it's a new thing to add, to have, make sure that every kid has all the books and supplies that they need. So, and that's you doing that. That's not us. It's us together. So let's take a moment to close out this portion in prayer, and please join us for refreshments. And I would ask that you all pray for me. Wednesday is the day I'm supposed to have something done with my back. So we've got to see this working. I want to bound up these stairs, not hold on to this thing with both hands. So I put that on you and our practitioners. Okay, so let's take a moment to just know that there is only one mind, one divine intelligence. It's called God, but it's known by many names. And this divine intelligence flows through each and every one of us. And when we are open and receptive, then the choices that we make come from love and are expressed through us by this divine mind. I give thanks that we are here today as a spiritual family, a Sangha, and that we have so many beautiful hearts that come together for beautiful experiences. I speak my word for anyone experiencing a challenge, to know that right where that challenge is the power and presence and healing presence of God. So I release these words into the law of mind to do its perfect work, and with gratitude, let's say together, and so it is. Thank you. And may we stand and sing Stand.
Let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there be joy. I am a stand for joy. We are making